what were the Japanese internment camps during World War II? Like, what do you think it means? They're internment camps. I guess like they round them up with a leash and like take them somewhere.
Like they mistreated Japanese and put them in like groups sort of like during Holocaust. Nothing.
I read Farewell to Manzanar. I know where that's at. Basically, it's sort of like a story that's been swept under the rug. No one really talks about it when you talk about American history. It's really horrible. You could even compare it almost a little bit to what happened in the Holocaust. So it was pretty horrible, and it was one of the worst examples of persecution in this country.
Well, they were guilty by association with much trial, and although many argues that at the very time they have very reactions, they propose certain laws to prevent collapse of the country, but from a civil society point of view, it was highly unjust for those who are also American citizens.
Oh, that was hard when like Americans were afraid of Asians because they thought they all like had that same mentality.
White people hating on Japanese people. They suck.
I really can't tell you that.
Japanese were definitely mistreated in the U.S. It was almost like the Holocaust concentration camps in Europe, and they were mistreated. I'm sure they were put into dense, populated rooms where they had little to eat, if not little wear, very little things, supplies.
I think it was just horrible. What I know about it is just America suspected something bad. But America expected the Japanese were doing something bad. There were spies, even though during World War II there was like Germans doing stuff too. But out of nowhere we have internment camps. It's kind of messed up.
Yeah.
World War II?
Yeah. They were like, everyone was scared of the Japanese when they attacked Pearl Harbor. So like the Japanese Americans were put in internment camps so that they wouldn't like sabotage us from the inside or something.
They put Japanese in like prison camps in World War II. Just out of fear of them, I guess, for no reason.
I read a book, this Sean, it was like BS, man. It's messed up. It's messed up.
Just that Japanese were held there and tortured. Still like
That was during, like you said, World War II, and they put up a notice and they brought all the Japanese Americans into internment camps because they thought they were a threat because of the bombing of Pearl Harbor.
I know after Pearl Harbor that, of course, how it was with Guantanamo Bay, kind of like a camp that held Japanese just under suspicion. So basically, they didn't really have any constitutional rights, and they just, for the mere suspicions, they were,
In the US?
After Pearl Harbor during World War II?
Yeah, like after September 9, after 9/11 with the Arabic people, it was put on the side of the society.
So President Roosevelt, Franklin Roosevelt, thought the Japanese were a threat because we were at war. So he interned them in the southwest desert, kind of like how Germans and Italians were interned in the Northeast.
I don't know too much about.
If you could take a guess, Japanese internment camps, World War II, possibly Japanese over here in this country?
Internment camps? Is that the same thing as like a sort of concentration camp? Sort of, well, then yeah, I would guess, but I don't know what countries they were in.
They're taken as prisoners and treated pretty cruelly during the war.
That we talked about in history class today. It wasn't just the Japanese, for one thing. It was a ton of different groups in Europe, and it was basically a bunch of people that were being prosecuted against because of the war, and everybody thought the Japanese in the United States were just out to get everyone, so they put them in internment camps.
I know that just after Pearl Harbor, they were suspicious about who's responsible for the bombing, so they made all the Japanese Americans living on the West Coast move out into camps kind of places, and it went on for a long time. It was just really unfair, and it created a lot of discrimination and everything. So.